right, guys. So we're trying a new format. We're trying to stick to about 2 videos, try and keep it around definitely less than 20, but 15 to 10 minutes. Let's just jump right in.
Baseball discovered induced vertical break, and everything changed. This metric, induced vertical break, IVB, or ride, is the invisible force behind every rising fastball you've ever seen. It's not that the pitch literally rises, it just drops less than gravity says it should. A fastball with 20 inches of IVB doesn't fall 20 inches less. It stays 20 inches higher than expected. That illusion tricks the human brain into thinking it's rising. Dodgers lefty Alex Vesia leads MLB in IVB this season with 21 inches on a 93-mile-per-hour fastball. That's elite ride, and hitters are batting just 167 against it. He doesn't overpower you with velocity. He defies your brain's extra.
All right, so why am I showing you this, right? It's the importance of what our brain is used to seeing, and you can even take this to athleticism, right? What our body is designed to do, and then what we perceive when it's not doing what's designed to do, right? So here with the fastball, right? To the batter, it looks like it's rising, but really it's just staying even. And the reason why it looks like it's rising to them is because their subconscious and their conscious mind is adding in math, right? So if it's used to seeing -1, -2, -3, -4, -5 in the strike zone, right? Now because it's staying even, the brain interprets +1, +2, +3, +4, +5, right? That even kill line instead of that curl down. So the brain sees these positives and just interprets the positives. That's just kind of the beauty of the supercomputer and how stupid also the brain is. Now, the reason why I picked this one is because you have to apply this to swimming technique. Okay? A great example is how we teach breaststroke kick with our Rakeley Technique Solutions library. With our butterfly sit back drill, when you pull the feet, so this is the feet, to the bottom of the pool, it makes the butt go up first before the swimmer then pivots backwards. So kind of in the same vein, when the swimmer doing breaststroke is up here, and then they pull the knees in, boom, it's going to do the same thing, right? When you pull the knees in, it makes the butt go up. So when you pull those knees in, it's going to make your body return to flat or that butt go up. Now, because it's a vertical angle, it can only change this way, whereas in fly, your knees come in and you go this way, all right? So it's the same difference. And, right, so you can see a lot of breaststrokers will throw their head down, but really their head is coming down so aggressively and fast because their knees are coming in. So you have to figure out, well, you don't have to, we did it for you. When you see a technique being done, what am I looking at really? Right, when I see a ball rising at me into my strike zone, what's really going on? Am I actually seeing a ball that's rising? Am I seeing an even ball? Am I seeing a natural sink? Or am I seeing a natural sink? My brain is adding value to make sure it zeroes out at even, and my brain is interpreting that level ball as rising because it sees it's automatically computing that added positive value to zero the math out and keep the ball traveling flat or from falling. So you have to do these, like I said, you don't have to. We did it for you. That's why we create our Technique Solutions library, because it's made with respect to the human body, right? Just like the human body sees the ball rising, there's certain techniques that the human body sees one way and executes one way, but really it's done another way, like throwing your head in the water, right? We see and interpret the head going down, but really it's the butt going up. Next video.
Broke kid from Santa Ana just driving a white Ford Ranger. How much money would you have made in today's world?
This fucking guy. This fucking guy.
Stop it, Arian. Stop it.
This fucking guy. All right. So
by the way, that's the reaction I get from everybody.
Yeah, because it's bullshit. That's all.
What are you talking about?
Turtle.
Put him in his place, Arian. Tell him.
When I was in the height of my career, we came out with a documentary called School the Price of College Sports. And in there I detail how when I was in college, I took improper benefits, right? They started an NCAA investigation. They called me. They called me, bro. They called me and it was like the NCAA called me. They was like, hey, this is the NCAA, so and so with the NCAA. We're gonna open up an investigation on the improper benefits. It was like, are you gonna cooperate? I said, nope. Good luck. Fuck you. Like, and my problem with the NCAA is my problem with the people.
All right, guys, I have a confession to make. I too received improper benefits. And what I mean is I did a swim lesson my junior year and got paid $50 for it. And I think, athletes now have it so much better and, thank goodness. But kind of like what Matt Leinart, he's definitely full of hot air right there. He was, Reggie Bush and him USC was getting paid, okay? But I remember there was a night where I was like staying up late, studying film, probably playing some video games too, but definitely studying film. And I wanted to eat some cereal, right? Because, it's a cheap meal, whatever. So I didn't have any money. So I literally had to I had literally a fistful of quarters, I couldn't close them all the way. And I went into HEB, which is like the Texas national, or I guess not regional, statewide grocery chain. And I bought a gallon of milk at 2 or 3 a.m. with a fistful of quarters and dimes. Okay, that's how broke I was. And then, I remember there's a story of Shabazz Napier, who was a guard at UConn, who was talking about how he would go to bed hungry. Same thing happened when I was in college, right? Back then, I think they only gave, at least the non-revenue sports, I think if you weren't on a full ride, you only got one meal paid for, right, by the university. So, and that was lunch. And you figure out how to finagle it and sneak back a dinner or whatever, but you got to figure it out. You got to eat, but yeah, man, $50, improper benefits. I think I may have had some people buy me lunch, like parents or whatever, that I saw or coached their kid or something when I was in high school. But yeah, NCAA was a bunch of crooks. So anyway, guys, that's our. Well, let's try one more. We're gonna try one more. We got 7 minutes in, so I think we can add one more real quick.
A threat. We've lived in a state of fear. A lot of people fear that college swimming could go away entirely. To help me understand the threat to the system, can you put that into context?
Yeah, I think I can try to do that for you. And I think to your last point around the organization, who we are, yeah, I think a lot of people think of us in a context that's similar to ASCA, and they've got a strong place and a strong voice for sure. If you know the NCAA or the college athletics, every sport in the NCAA has this association. So football, straight through all of our Olympic sports and our emerging sports, think rugby, think equestrian. So we are that space for college swimming and diving. And we can do a lot of things, right? We can do recognitions and professional development events, but advocacy is at the forefront of what we do. And we are not the NCAA, but we do have a close relationship with the NCAA. And as you just mentioned, the landscape of college athletics.
Debbie's comments are on her ass.
Is under unprecedented pressure that we've not experienced in the past. And swimming and diving, and frankly, all Olympic sports are.
Shout out to Grant House.
Yes, I think the threats are immediate. They're tangible. Since the House settlement was announced, just for a point of reference, College Division I has lost 40 programs. So that's 1,000 opportunities that have been removed. This Cal Poly is one of them. Loyola Marymount is one of them. But that also doesn't account for loss of roster spots, budgets, scholarships, salaries, staffing. And so the losses are real. And quite frankly, as we sit and meet.
I'm a real boy. Pinocchio.
With people are trying to estimate the aftermath of the space we're in, we've heard up to 100,000 opportunities could be lost. So if you really think about that, 100,000 opportunities lost in college athletics, if that's a gross overstatement, even by 75 or 80%, Mel, that's 20 or 25,000 student athlete opportunities taken off the table. that's about how many athletes we have swimming in college or diving in college. And so I think we all need to understand that change is not for change's sake, but it's really trying to position our sport for long-term growth.
All right, I've heard enough. Basically, guys, this girl's full of shit. She is full of the hottest shit. Okay, I'm talking about cow dung, horse dung, mixed into one, rhyming like I can't be stung. But, like, I don't even know where to start. You're the director of the CSCAA, right? Which I guess is like, that's our, like, not governing body, but union body, whatever you want to call it, right? And I remember Katie Hop has a video up right now, and Missy, shout out to them. Shout out to Unfiltered. Wow, excuse me, guys. Shout out to Unfiltered Waters podcast. I've done some reactions of them. Go check out the YouTube. See if I can do this right. Dang it, wrong hand. And they talked about, I think it was 2.4 million, right? So you need to generate 2.4, no, actually, no, you need to generate $5 million, okay? Because they want profits, you know, double up is always a great investment. So $5 million, right? So they sat around a table, the CSCA, and said, our sport is under attack. We're losing bodies. They don't care. They're collecting a check, and they're going to collect the same check no matter how many teams get cut. So, like, and this, I keep saying to people, stop negotiating. Like, Mel, there's no disrespect. Why are you platforming these losers? I'll call it like it is. They have no incentive to fix these things. None. They collect their check. You're going to have to go to people who actually really care about it, which if they're collecting a check for fixing it, it don't matter. Now, if she was getting paid a commission to fix it, I'd say, yes, you need to talk to her. But, bro, I keep telling people, like, y'all need to stop talking to begging the overlords. That's what I call it. You're begging your slave master to stop whipping you. Are you stupid? Goodness. But anyway, so they're sitting in a room, right? And they need to make $12 million or $5 million, right? So they're like, okay, what solutions can we have? We need to bring in ad revenue, which means we need eyeballs on the sport. So these people will look at let's just say the 100, let's see, how do we do this? 500,000 viewers, and they'll evaluate that 500,000 viewers at $50,000 per ad, at $50,000 per ad to get the 5 million. I don't have to do math. It's just 100 ads, right? How do we do this? Let's cut B finals. Oh, Jesus. Like, and this is what I'm saying, guys. Like, all right, so you beg the CSCA, please fix this. So they go sit down. Guys, we need to generate $5 million. What are we going to do? Let's cut B finals. Yeah, that'll work. So then they leave their chambers and they come back out to you guys, the public, and say, hey, this is our plan to generate $5 million. We are going to cut B finals from NCAA. And that's who you begged for? That's who you begged to? The incompetence? And it's like, I'm going to say two things. One, you can tell people who've never really had to struggle for something. Because when you've had to really struggle and make a move happen, you realize that nobody's coming to save you. And that it's literally your own incompetence or competence that's going to get you there. Like, you don't get to ask for help. Right? Now, obviously, there's programs, whatever, out there to help you with your livelihood. But for the most part, you realize that the systems that are set to make your life easier don't really do anything. So then if you take that and you're like, okay, well, is this true in other areas of my life? You start to realize, like, oh, wow, damn near in every area of my life, these systems are not actually meant to help me. And the people that I turn to, they're collecting a paycheck to do nothing. So why would they do anything extra? Why would they do any extra effort? Doesn't make any sense. So, and it's the thing too, and it's the thing that's the craziest about swimmers. This is my last point. Is I guess I was supposed to finish my 2 points. First one was you can tell people who haven't had to fight for anything, and I don't remember what the second point was, but I kind of don't even remember now what my third point was. Okay, my third point was about swimmers, right? In our sport, you get out what you put in, right? So it is absolutely absurd, shocking, fraudulent, a ton of negative words that just say you're a fake person. That in our sport, we would want something and not do it ourselves, which is what we learn in swimming. Swimming is the greatest life lesson teacher. And yet, we've gone through it. We have people who have been at the highest levels, and they are unwilling to get in the mud and do it themselves, even though that's what the sport has taught them. It doesn't make any sense, guys. Like, if you did the same thing, you're like, I want to make my NCAA roster, and you didn't do anything, you just didn't show up to practice, people would be like, I don't want you on the relay. Like, that's what the reaction would be. So now we have this same thing where you're like, hey, I want to fix swimming, but then you don't show up and do anything. You're not in the ground, in the dirt, in the mud with your elbows doing something, and you're complaining about it? Like, shut up. Like, this part about swimmers and this, and in general, it blows my mind. I'm glad that the kids I work with, I teach them not to do this, so it's embarrassing. So anyway, guys, leave a comment. Let me know what you think of these topics, because sometimes it's embarrassing being a swimmer, guys. My community, I gotta be one of y'all. Jesus. But that's why we have our own corner of the internet, right? So we can separate ourselves from this tomfoolery and establish a more aggressive way of getting the things we want in a more concise, targeted, and not relentless, but I forgot the word means, like to work for it. It'll come to me probably some other day. But anyway, guys, yeah, make sure you turn on those notifications so you can get notified whenever I post a video. And thanks for watching. Peace.